We're going to be talking about Illinois kids testing tonight and how that's working out, what teachers are doing. And we're going to be talking about going paperless during math. And let's get into our questions. Let's get started right now with episode number 4 of Teachers Talk 2. Okay, so let's get right into our questions. Question number 1 tonight comes from Jamie Jones. She sent me an email. Thank you, Jamie, for the question. Her question says, Adam, what are your kids' testing tips? I'm struggling with collecting good evidence. Well, Jamie, you are not alone, and I'm sure there are hundreds and thousands of teachers out there who are struggling with the same thing after we all went through that training last year for kids testing. But I'm going to kind of start with where I'm at, and my first suggestion for you is to take it slow. The latest reports and the last thing I've read about kids testing say that this is backed up for at least another 3 years, that it's going to be mandated. So depending on what your school is expecting of you right now, take it slow. My team, what we did when we first got our kids testing training done is we looked at what needed to be accomplished in that first set of things that we had to turn in, so that first session or that first timeline. We broke that down and we really looked at what we were already doing in our classrooms. And I think with any kind of testing or assessment or anything new that comes out, whether it be standards or whatever, you really need to stop and think about what am I already doing that's going to help me with this. So in regards to evidence and how you collect it, I know every teacher does a little bit different, but I'll share with you what I'm doing, and I find it to be very easy so far. So I have my phone on me at all times during the day, and I use that for my camera in my classroom unless I'm taking really good posed pictures. But I keep my phone on me to shoot videos, to shoot pictures, whatever I need to do, and then I save those and I back it straight up to my MacBook here in my classroom. So if you are a Mac user at school, the easiest way to keep evidence folders with that is to use the Faces program in iPhoto, and it automatically sorts your pictures for you, and then I drag those into files for those kids. So I have a folder for Hunter and Aaliyah and whoever is all in my class that year, and I keep pictures separated of that, and I do that already for their scrapbooks. So when it comes time to do that for kids testing and pictures, I can already have those pictures and then to pull out. The other thing, documenting paperwork and writing samples and things like that you need. We are fortunate here at our school, we have copy machines that can scan, and it emails that scan directly to us. If you have that privilege or that option, use it. If not, just get a scanner, a cheap scanner from your tech room or however you can get a hold of one, or take pictures of writing samples. But what I do is I can scan those writing samples and scan any papers that I need all at once. It emails them to me, and then I can drag those into the individual student folders as well. So I'll be honest and say to you that I am not collecting a lot of evidence right now because my school is not really forcing us to do kids yet because of the timeline has been so far pushed back. But I know when it does happen, if it does happen, I should say, that is going to be something I do. I'll keep those folders on my desktop or somewhere on my computer, in my Google Drive or whatever I need, and then I can find those things when I need them for those kids. It's a great, easy way to keep track of everything you need, and then you just delete it at the end when you're done if you don't need it. Just do what you're already doing, and I'm going to say that you'll probably realize that you're already doing enough collecting. You just got to start saving it. So I hope that answers your question, Jamie. Thank you for the question. Again, kids is something that's a process in the making. I don't really have all the information for kids yet because I'm not too focused on it, but I appreciate your question. I hope that way helps you out a little bit, scanning the things and saving pictures into folders, and you already have it sorted for your kids. So I hope that helps you. If anybody else has any advice for kids testing, feel free to post it on our Facebook page or Instagram. If you can answer that question better than I can, or if you have ideas, send them to me and then I can share them on another episode. But thanks for the question, Jamie. Let's get into question number 2. Alright guys, so question number 2 comes from Anita M, and this was another email, so thank you, Anita. Her question says, Adam, in regards to your classroom going paperless, what do you do about math? I feel like our math program is nothing but paper, paper, paper. What ways are you doing math without using so much paper? Anita, great question, and I know I haven't focused a lot of the paperless classroom segments on math yet, so let's do it. This is great because I have done a lot with math this year going paperless. The first step I took was I did not order reproducibles this year for our math program. I have so many papers and extras stacked up throughout the years that I've gotten a bin in one of my closets. I decided this year I wasn't going to order the workbooks. I don't use the work pages a lot because I don't feel like that's math. I feel like that's writing a lot. So I didn't even order them. That's a first step you can take if your school will allow it. Don't order reproducibles if you have extras already. I also don't order those because I have Blackline Master books that came with our program. We use Envision Math by Pearson. So if you use that, you know that yours comes with an assessment book and work page books. So if I do want to make a paper copy, I just use that. I don't make copies very often. I do make copies for assessments. I do make copies if I feel like I need to really track their handwriting and show their parents how their handwriting's going. But most of the time I'm doing math with manipulatives or games or apps or things on the smartboard. So for example, my class right now is doing numbers 6 through 10. We're comparing, we're counting, we're reading those numbers. So we've been doing a lot with 10 frames and using Play-Doh. So we sit on the squares together back here. I put a number up on the smartboard and they build that number with little Play-Doh balls inside their 10 frames. And then we talk about taking one away or adding one more or two fewer or two more, whatever it is. And we use that instead of the worksheets where they're just writing 7 is fewer than 9 or 5 is more than 3. You know, they're really getting this interaction and they're doing math rather than just listening to me teach them math. A lot of the things that we're doing are that creative knowledge and that building and teamwork and things like that rather than just sitting and listening to me teach. I use a lot of manipulatives, our Unifix cubes, counters, linking chains, those kind of things for math. But really, I really just look at what the lesson is going to be for the day or for the week I plan this out. And I think about all the ways that I can do this without paper. Again, I'm not completely paperless. We are just using less paper in my classroom. So if it is a worksheet that I feel like is really, really important and it's something that's easy enough to throw into a station, I'll slip it down inside a sheet protector and they do it out with a dry erase marker and then show it to me. Or we use manipulatives and Play-Doh and things like that and a lot of smartboard games and apps. So going paperless in math is an option. My first advice, don't order the workbooks. If you feel like you're not using those pages, don't order them. Take a look at what you've already done this year. It's already October. If you've already realized that you aren't using, a good deal of those papers for next year, and you can get by without them for the following year, save the school a little bit of money. I'm sure they're not going to argue that. Save them some money and don't order reproducibles. And you'll find if the paper's not there to use, you're going to come up with some more fun way to do that activity. So that's what I've done. I don't have the papers there at my disposal, readily unless I go make copies. So it forces me then to find a new way to teach that topic using a manipulative or Play-Doh or any of the other things I mentioned. So again, great question, Anita. I'm glad you brought that up because we have not done math on our paperless classroom segment. So I appreciate that. But there are two good ideas for you guys. So again, kids testing. I don't have a lot of answers for it, but those two ways I talked about with scanning and saving photos and scanning paperwork is a great way to document that evidence. And then paperless in math is an option if you really just focus on what you can do without the paper next year, and why not start it this year? Try out a few things. So thank you, Jamie and Anita, for those two questions tonight. Thank you also to everyone else who has emailed me a question. I promise you we will get to them once I have time to fit them all into a segment. This is a quick segment today, but thank you for the questions. I appreciate them so much. If I haven't answered your question in email or Facebook or Instagram, it's because I'm waiting to add your question to another episode of Teachers Talk 2. Thank you for making Teachers Talk 2 a success. Thank you for making it possible for me to sit here and answer these questions every day. Get your questions in with the hashtag Teachers Talk 2. We'll try to get them answered on an upcoming episode, but I'll get to as many as I can as we go through. So on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on email, get those questions in. Any social media outlet, make sure you hashtag Teachers Talk 2 or comment on any of the pictures that I have posted so I see those questions right away. And I look forward to talking to you guys on an upcoming episode and answering your question if you send me one. So thanks again for watching. That was episode number 4 of Teachers Talk 2. I am Adam Peterson from teacherslearn2.com, and we'll see you guys soon in a future episode. Thanks a lot.